I love to talk about leadership. It's one of the deepest passions of my heart. I want to thank you for your shares, your likes, and the comments. Last week I began to share something very important. I reminded us that leadership development is in 3 dimensions. The spiritual development of leadership is actually the cultivation of values. Now, the mental dimension of the development of your leadership is the acquisition of knowledge. I said that already. And then the third aspect, which is my primary focus here, is the physical aspect of your leadership development, and that is the practice of skill. The last time I talked about the most important and core skill of leadership, which is self-control. Today I want to build on that. You start leadership at the base, where first you lead yourself. And after leading yourself, the next thing you do is to get along with others. And here the skill that you need is called adaptability. Now, once you're someone who can control yourself in any given circumstance, then you are now ready to get in the space of other people. Because always, I want you to remember this, leadership skills are developed in social contexts. What that means is that you can never practice the skills of leadership unless in your interrelationship or interaction with other people. And that's the social context. So once you are someone who has gained a proper handle on self-control, you can control yourself. And remember, I said controlling yourself means able to hold yourself in where necessary, and also to let yourself initiate, whether it's a conversation or an action, where necessary. So let's assume you have that working for you, self-control. Thank you. Now, the next thing is, in your relationship with other people, you must be able to get along. Now, if you don't get along, they will not allow you to influence them. To do that, you must be adaptable. That's the second most important skill of leadership. I'll be talking about 5 skills of leadership, but this is the second, and next, that is following self-control, which is the most important. Next to it is adaptability. Now, most people assume that adaptability causes them to compromise. No. I didn't say to adopt, I mean to adapt. Adapt means you get along without you observing the ways, the values of the people. But when you adapt, you're not a threat to the people you're trying to influence, because they see that you allow them to be who they are while you are still who you are in their own space. Now, principles are universal, but the application of those principles will be contextual. For example, there are a lot of Christians who cannot get along in social environment. There are a lot of Christians who can't get along even in business environment. They can't use the business language. They can't get along in the business environment. There are also Christians who can't get along in sporting environment. So they are like fish out of water. That's the problem. If we want to influence the world, then we'll be able to adapt to the world, not to adopt the practices of this world, but to adapt. Remember, I told you the greatest book on leadership is the Bible. When God said we should have dominion, it also means that we should lead. But the first person we lead is ourselves. And once you can lead yourself effectively, now you must get in the context of other people. And these people are diverse. They're coming with different feelings, different views, different culture. But your job is to influence them. But you cannot influence them unless first they give you the permission to do so. For them to give you the permission, they must feel like you accommodate them. And that's what I am dealing with here. And that is the adaptability. Adaptability is not compromise. Adaptability is not compromise. I hope you got that. Now you have to practice that skill. Paul said something in the Bible. Paul said, I become all things to all men that I may win some. Now, a lot of people, when you see Christians particularly, when get into the world, you can say that's a pastor. You can say that is a brother. Why? They dress and talk and look a particular way. And many times when we want to reach the world with our message, we pack scriptures. We go to them preaching at them as though they are church people. They don't want to hear your Bible verses. They don't want to hear you preaching at them. First of all, they want you to speak the language they can understand. If you read the words of Jesus Christ, today we call them scriptures, but Jesus was not quoting scriptures when he talked to the people. When he met farmers, he spoke the language of farmers. He said, let me talk to you about seed and planting. When he met fishermen, he spoke the language of fishing. That's adaptability. And any leader who cannot adapt is rigid and therefore cannot influence this world. I'll stop here. I want you to add your voice to it. Thank you as always. God bless you.